Hello friends, today's topic is student loans. Let's rant.
We are slaves to student debt.
Between myself and my children, I owe $211,000 in student loan debt.
I borrowed $60,000 and now I'm $268,000 in debt.
I borrowed $70,000. Over 10 years, I paid $60,000, and I still owe $75,000 more than I borrowed.
The interest is so high and it's compounded daily, it's predatory.
If these loans don't go away, they're going to garnish my Social Security. So not only do I not have any retirement savings, I have less than what I was promised for every time I paid my Social Security out of my paycheck for the last 40 years.
I'm the very first person in my family that ever went to college. But I am the worst off right now than everybody in my family.
Taking out student loans was the worst mistake of my life.
Passionate life insurance policies just to pay student debt.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Yes.
Joe Biden can fix this, and he can fix it today. There's the provision 902.2, which allows the Department of Education to discharge debts based on the age of the debtor.
Biden, don't forget, cancel student debt.
Unless Biden does something about it, it's never going to stop.
Time is running out. Time is running out.
So, I want to talk about the reality of paying off your student loans because this story has been sitting with me for a minute. And I'm just like, you guys, the drive that I had back then, I wish I had that drive now. But what made me pay off those student loans was fear. Bro. After I paid them off, I literally thought I was going to get some type of beautiful certificate that says, congratulations, you paid your last payment on your student loans. You're done. But all I got was a dropped credit score, 26 points down. Okay, that's all I got. And then it went up eventually, but the system just sucks. It's stupid. Anyways, what I did to pay that, what stressed me out to make me pay them student loans, y'all, I was working at my first job after college at a cosmetic store. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was making $400 a month. They sent me this letter. The student loan people was like, hey, you can't do income-driven repayment plans because of so-and-so. I'm like, what the heck? And they said my payments were going to be $700. If I'm making only $400 a month, how in the heck? Anyways, the Lord blessed me with a job from that job. It was a sales job to another sales job. And I still have trauma to this day from working that job. I worked 80 hours a week, Iraq. 80 hours a week, and I worked my photography business on the side. I worked 80 hours a week. 80! And then I had a panic attack, you guys. I had a freaking panic attack, and I passed out on the job, and I literally thought I was having a heart attack. And I told those people in the ambulance, do not call my emergency contact. Don't call my mom. And they called my mom anyways. And she came up to that hospital and was like, what the hell is wrong with your ass now, bro? Damn lost it. I damn lost it. But guys, the drive that I had to pay those student loans off was out of fear. It was out of fear. And I'm so grateful I paid them. I wish I had that drive now, but I'm woke. I'm so woke now. I'm like, the drive is just different. I'm healing. But it's just I had to work 80 hours a week and do a side hustle. And I lived at home with my parents to pay those student loans off. And they expect people working a 9 to 5, trying to survive, to pay those student loans. Baby, they don't care. I mean, you really would have to work yourself to death to pay them student loans, okay? And I'm all for student loan forgiveness. Baby, I don't want y'all to go through what I went through to get them paid off. I would rather y'all have some type of forgiveness, okay? Because hell no. Hell no.
I have $75,000 worth of student loan debt, and I'm not stressing. I don't feel bad for having to take out that amount of money. Statistically, I understand why I had to take out that amount of money. Could I have paid for college in a different way? Yes, but I don't ever regret the college that I went to, the decisions I made while I was in college, or any of that. I don't regret anything about college, just how I paid for it. Do I wish that I was a little bit more tenacious and applied to more scholarships and all of those kind of things? Yes. But I want people to be very fucking for real. I was the youngest of 6 children. And there was no other way for me to be able to afford school. And I'm Super, super grateful for my parents. They put me on the Parent Plus loan, which a lot of people can't even qualify for because they believed in me, they believed in my dreams, and they knew that this is what I needed to make it to the other side. So during this time where there's a lot of turmoil, we don't really know what's happening with student loans and the payoff. Some of us really only had two choices, and that was either no college or student loans. I want to remind any person who is like me, you did what you had to do. And from there, you have to keep it moving. Keep striving, keep doing the things that we have to do because we had to make a hard decision. There is no shame in borrowing money because rich people do it all the fucking time. No shame in borrowing money to create the life that you need to in the long run.
Damn, how can anyone pay that much loan off? That's a lot of money.
I'm gonna do another student loan payment of $30 today. We're doing $30 today for my loan preview, and we are going to submit that payment. Girl, we did it. Another $30 payment. I try to pay at least $30 a day, around $7.99 per month, $800. And so by doing $30 each day for 31 days, it's $930. So I'm paying over the required amount. So if you have a lot of credit card debt or even student loan debt, it's so much easier to pay it off in bite size every single day rather than paying such a huge amount monthly. We are being financially responsible.
I owe over $300,000 in student loans. Let me tell you how. So I'm a nurse practitioner. My husband is a pharmacist. My husband went to private school for his entire pharmacy school. I went to a public university for my nursing degree and then a private school for my nurse practitioner degree. We both took out student loans for everything. You know, at 18, you think you're going to be able to pay everything back because both of those jobs make good money. So why am I complaining? This economy is just so expensive right now. I know it's our fault, I guess, for taking out all these loans, but I would love to be able to pay them off. So here I am on TikTok working to have extra income. So I would love if you follow me along on this journey to paying off our loans and just, you know, living life the best we can in the current circumstances. So tell me how much you owe in student loans and if you regret it.
I have $200,000 worth of student debt and I'm pretty ashamed of it. But here's the real tragedy. I got a full scholarship to college. My student debt came from graduate school and a certificate I earned after graduate school. If I'm being honest, I really regret it. I regret going to graduate school when I did, and I regret paying out of pocket for it myself. When I graduated from college, I was 21 years old, and I did the thing that I thought was best. I decided to go to graduate school because that's what most members of my family did. They went to graduate school, and so in following in many of their footsteps, I went to pursue my master's degree. Making this decision to go to graduate school, I listened to what some of my family members were talking about when it comes to earning potential. It was pretty much drilled into me that if I wanted my earning potential to match my white counterparts, that I would have to have a graduate degree. A graduate degree was simply not optional. As a Black woman without a backup plan, I thought that I was securing my financial future by investing in my education. When I say without a backup plan, what I specifically mean is I just couldn't move home with my parents. That was not an option available to me because of my circumstances. Some of the comments that I am seeing in response to the Biden-Harris loan forgiveness program have me shook because I am just like, if you only knew. Yes, this program is going to get some people completely out of student loan debt. But for someone like me, this is just a start. Like I said, I have over $200K in student loans. So, and I'm eligible for $20,000, thank goodness. And so that's going to take me to about $180,000 still left to pay. Some of the comments that have been the hardest to read are the ones that say things like, well, it's your responsibility. You knew what you were signing up for. Yes, it is my responsibility, but I don't think I understood the magnitude of what I was signing up for. I was so focused on securing my financial future and creating stability in my life and also trying to address the issues of pay inequity that I made a pretty poor decision. Hindsight is truly 20/20. When you know better, you do better. And if I had known better, I would not have taken.
This is wild. What do you think about this? That's too much money going out the window. Thank you for watching. Until next time.